just as important as it is to understand what a weight loss plateau is and how you could fix it, is actually preventing the weight loss plateau from happening to begin with. Because guess what, folks? You can absolutely prevent a weight loss plateau from happening. In this video, I give you guys a glimpse of what it's like to work with me one-on-one, where I'm actually dissecting what you're doing. And with this particular video, we get into the nuance of a weight loss plateau, and there's a couple individuals where we actually discuss fixing the weight loss plateau, and it actually starts off with somebody who I can see is on their path, but we course correct very quickly and prevent it from happening altogether. Enjoy. So I will start with Don. Starting weight 150 down to 136. So you lost about 13.5 pounds, Don. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah, to let all you guys know, we are adding waist measurement to the weigh-in link. So we'll send a text message, but you guys can start tracking that. I would strongly recommend you get a measurement as quickly as possible. It'll be something that you just do once a week when you weigh yourself. It's just a quick little tape measurement around your waist, centimeters, super easy. I was just surprised I honestly didn't have that already, but it's really important because sometimes, especially for you guys, as you get closer to your goal, you will more often have periods of time where the scale won't move. And so maybe even 2 weeks in a row, and having something like a waist measurement can give you something objective to be like, hey, the scale's not moving, but I'm losing inches. That's phenomenal. So
That's kind of where I'm at.
What was that?
The last 2 weeks has been that for me.
Can you tell that the clothes, because the clothes are obviously one way, but that's a little bit trickier because you're not measuring yourself. So the tape measurement is going to be the better ultimate way. But do you feel like the clothes are still getting looser for you, Don?
Yeah, and people are noticing when I wear my scrubs. They're now noticing. Now they're saying something like,
That's great. That's great. So yeah, I'm looking at your weekly weigh-ins, 43, 42, 140, 139, 136, 136. Okay, so I see you've been around 136 since about the last 2 weeks. Okay, so before that though, what big drop from 139 to
yeah,
136. That was actually a little too much for where you're at. I want you to be shooting for about 1% a week.
yeah, that was a busy week. It was on the go. That one. I knew that one came off fast, and I was a little, whoa, I didn't expect it. I didn't see it until it was the number was there.
Do you feel like the last couple of weeks, any changes in your energy, brain fog, constipation, feeling cold? Do you feel like those kind of turned on a little bit too?
Yeah, definitely like more fatigue. There's like constant energy, and I was like, "This is me. This is how I was meant to be." And now, I'm getting a little tired.
So can you guys see what happened to her? So we're all like learning how. Like, what do you think happened, Don?
I don't know, actually. Just the change in my hormones, I would say, and that kind of thing. I don't know. I felt.
So, as observed by the bigger losses the weeks prior, you just underate, and undereating over a long enough period of time triggers a plateau, right? And a plateau is when the body goes, let's crank down the metabolism. Now, how quickly the body decides to do that is related to genetics, insulin resistance, health, but the variable is how quickly did you eat less, right? So when I see that massive shift and drop, and then all of a sudden, then nothing's dropping, your body just reacted to that week. It was probably happening before, though. You probably started undereating more, which happens, and then you had a really bad week as far as too low, and then your body said, I'm done. And you confirmed it with the symptoms, because that's the other thing. So easy fix. We just got to do a reset. So how many calories do you think you've been averaging the last week or two?
It varies between 1,200 and 2,000, depending on what I can eat and eat within that window. Because I really really focused on the fasting. Like I don't eat after 2 or 3.
Yeah.
And then in the morning, so I can have my coffee and all the things that I like. So
totally. And I love that you're dialing it in. So we're going to do a reset. We're going to, which means no long fasting. So for the next couple of weeks, all 7 days, I need you to get calories in. Since you said it's a total range between 1,200 and 1,800, let's start with 1,600 for week number 1, and let's see what happens. And then we'll bump it up to 1,800, and then we'll bump it up to 2,000, and probably somewhere in there, I would imagine we're going to cap off. But who knows? You might get up to 2,000 and still not gain weight. And when you're telling us, I feel better, that fog is gone. We just keep cranking it up. And then eventually we get back into it and go back into the protocol, get back into the long fasting. Weight loss will keep happening. And then now you have attention on, I better not let myself do that again.
Yeah.
And so the lesson here is when we fix it, the way that you guys prevent it from happening, in most cases, sometimes it can be triggered by stress, don't get me wrong, but in many cases, this totally sounds like you just let yourself undereat. So just be more cognizant for after we fix it that you,
Okay.
you keep your calorie intake. Doesn't need to be perfect, but closer to that 1,800, 2,000 range. So
Okay. I'm less busy now.
good. And yeah, I always say like when you are going through a busy craze that's where you can maybe plan to have more dense calorically dense foods around you. Fantastic. We're going to still go through everybody, but any questions for not just the reset, Don, but like moving forward on a big level, on a macro level, any questions at all?
No, I don't think so. Not at the moment.
Weight training's been going good?
Yeah. Yeah,
Cool.
I feel like my stomach is looking more toned. I have my definition that so
It's always exciting when you see some of the muscles pop out. You're like, hey,
yeah.
I've seen you forever since I was a kid. For some people, that's super cool. Okay, good. Scarlet. All right. We started off at 254. We're down to 236, lost 20.
I started at 263. I don't know why that didn't show up there, but yeah, I started at 263. Yeah.
263. And we're down to 236.
Yeah. 235, actually. 235.
Fantastic. Don't take away my pounds. So that's about 30 pounds. Okay, good. A little shy. I like that. I like that. So let's see. Just looking at since May, 259, 256, 254, 249, 244. Had a week where it went up and then went back down. That's great. That'll happen sometimes. 239, 236. Okay, so I see you've been floating same thing for the last like month. Yeah.
Yeah.
Based off what you just heard me and Don talk about, does that sound like that's happening to you? Do you think it's different?
Remember, I don't know, you probably don't remember because you have so many clients, but there was a few weeks back, or maybe even last week, where I was exercising like crazy. Like I was swimming and I used to be a competitive swimmer, so I swim like an hour 3 times a week, which is burning crazy amount of calories. And then I was going to the gym, and you would talk to someone else who was like, she was closer to her weight, but she was a trainer or something. And you had said, oh, you guys, make sure you're getting enough calories. You're probably underdoing it. And then maybe not, your body's going into starvation mode for a different reason. Because I used to be like an athlete where I just exercise and not eat a lot. That was when I was younger though. But so I started trying to raise my calories when you started saying that. And I cut back on the swimming. And then I got COVID, so it's great. The last 2 weeks I haven't done anything. But so I've just been slowly raising up my calories. But as I've done that, I've eaten a couple things I shouldn't have eaten too, which has been a weird thing. So I think that, so what I'm trying to do is get enough calories in, because I was doing like 1,200 calories. And then 1 week you were like, whoa, that's too low. Or you said something in a group meet. So then I tried to get it up to 1,400 or so, and now I'm trying to get it to 1,700 or 1,800. So I'm trying to do that.
So you've been doing a reset. Yeah, you've been doing a reset, which is great. But have you stopped your long fasting though during the reset?
No. I love fasting. I love fasting. I could go for 4 days. Like I'm telling you, I love fasting.
Which is good. Yeah. No, I love that you love it. But the reset won't do its job if you keep the long fasting. So was this last week about 1,700, you said?
Yeah, between 1,700 to 1,800. Yeah, somewhere around there. Yeah.
But of the last 7 days, did you fast for 48 hours or a single 24-hour fast?
That's weird because I've been trying to do 48 for some reason this week. I don't know from being so sick if that was part of it, but I've not been able to make it past 30 hours. So This is the first time I haven't been able to do a 2-day fast. Gotcha. I was even started again today, but then my friend was like, let's go have some fish. So I just had fish, but yeah.
So just like I said to Don, during the reset, all 7 days, I need you getting calories all 7 days for the next week or 2 or 3, however long it takes. But let's start you off at 1,700, which is where you're at, but we're just going to get it 7 days of the week, not just 6. And then we're probably going to bump you to 1,900, and you know the drill. So let's finish this reset that you started. Just eliminate the long fasting, get the food in every day. And then as you guys are working with Ceci, sending us the updates for your reset, just make sure you're paying attention to your symptoms. Have you happened to notice in the last couple of weeks any changes in brain fog, energy? Are you feeling a little bit more tired, more brain foggy, more constipated, more cold? Any of that compared to a month ago?
It's tough because with the COVID, I had like really high fevers and chills, and it went on for like ever. I just finally tested negative a couple days ago, and then I went back to work. But
That's hard to differentiate for sure. If you had COVID, yeah.
I did have like days here and there, like when I was over exercising, what I would say was over exercising, trying to get the fat off me quicker. Those days, there would be certain days from swimming too much and all that, where I would be cold for a day and then I'd pop back up to being hot again. So it wouldn't last long, but I would have the symptoms here and there fluctuating. I know that's not consistent, but
Yeah, no, and I think it's muddled with the fact that you had that. So no, I think all we need to do is just finish an official reset, and then I would imagine the weight loss is going to keep happening. The weight training's been going good.
yeah, before I had COVID, I was doing pretty well. I was weight training up north when I went up north to see my family, and there was a guy there who was doing one-on-one with me, and then I just kept his training and then came down back to Florida and doing that here. So I might get another session with a personal trainer just to make sure I'm doing everything I can do. But yeah, weight training feels good. I was surprised. I'm like, because I'm more of an outdoor person, but I'm really liking it now.
Good. No, the more you like it, the better, because this is a life thing, right? And so, no, that's fantastic. And that's great. That's great. And I have to imagine you're putting on muscle too.
I wanted to ask you too, I have quite a bit of weight to lose, and I used to weigh 100 pounds, around 100 pounds. And so obviously I'm not going to get that skinny, but I have a lot of weight to lose. Do you think part of the reason why it hasn't come off as much is like the over exercising and not quite eating enough kind of thing? Or is that normal? Even if you have 80 pounds to lose, it can be normal to just do like you said, 2 pounds of fat a week.
So there is no normal, first of all. A lot of people, yeah, there's so much variety. Instead of saying normal, there's optimal, right? Like meaning this is the best. Yes, 1% to 1.5%, sort of the maximum, is what I think is the most optimal weight loss range. And so in your case, I definitely want to see you losing at least 2.5 pounds a week, 2.5 to 3, which you were in plenty of these weeks. So I think we just got to get you through this reset and get you back on track. Anything faster, then I'm worried about muscle mass loss and skin issues. And yeah, there's just an optimal range that, assuming you are lifting weights and you are eating enough protein and you're still losing at 1 and 1.5%, that's good. Because that means it's probably likely mostly fat that you're losing and not a bunch of muscle mass. Because you want to lose weight faster, don't lift weights and take GLP-1s and don't eat, and you'll lose weight really fast. But with that,
do you want me to cut back to swimming too, like you had said? Maybe do just once or twice a week of swimming and 3 days of weightlifting, because I also do wall Pilates. Do you not that swimming's not wrong, but just do you want me to maybe just once a week, or what do you think?
Just during the reset. After the reset, you could swim all you want. I'm okay with that. And that's going to speed up your weight loss for sure. So just make sure you're hitting your calorie goals on those non-long fasting days when you get back into it. And then, yeah, your fasting is probably going to get challenged again for both you guys after the reset, just so you know, because your body gets hungrier. And so it's, whoa, I want 1,800 a day. And now you're trying to not eat for 2 days. So just be mindful. The fasting gets difficult again, but it's like you remember the process of it being difficult and getting through it. And there's the mental piece of it. You did it before, you'll do it again. Use the supplements, use the aids that are there to help you as much as you can. Always try and stay in the lowest dose as possible. The GLP-1 is always ideal, but you have that tool there for you as well.
And we still take our GLP-1 or no during the reset?
That your choice. You can take a break from it, which has its own benefits, or you can keep it going. When's the last time you've had a break from your GLP-1?
I haven't.
And what dose are you on?
I bumped myself up to a 0.5.
0.5?
Maybe, yeah.
Of sema or tirzepatide?
Tirzepatide.
Okay, so you mean half of a whole syringe, so like 50 units?
Yeah.
Okay, so that'd be 5 milligrams. And that's not, how many months have you been on it now?
I'd say maybe 3 weeks on 5 milligrams. I was really getting hungry, like almost starving hungry. I was still fasting. So I figured I needed to go up. And
you noticed that, 5 is still, I think, a good range. I think most people in my program end up needing 5 sometimes 7.5, which is still significantly less than what most people are doing out there in the market. So yeah, 5, I mean, I'm okay if you needed it, right? I want this to be doable for you. That is the benefit of the tirzepatide, that it's easier to do. So since you just bumped up, kind of your call in totality, how long have you been on the GLP-1?
I think since June,
Yeah,
because
3
I
months.
signed up in May and
Signed up, but
anyway, yeah, I think in
the last week in May.
that's when I got my medicine.
Totally. Yeah, it's only been a few months. I would just keep with what you're at. Just focus on the calories during the reset and then get through it. Go ahead.
Yeah. Oh wait, one last thing. You said start.
Yeah.
You wanted me to start trying to get 1,700 for this week, and then maybe try to go up again after that, or I'll
Yeah,
get in touch with Ceci.
Yeah, every week during the reset, you text Ceci with the update for the reset instructions,
Okay.
and then she's going to bump you up.
Okay. Okay.
Fantastic. And Don, you absolutely can take AOD as always during the reset because it's always helping with the metabolic flexibility portion of it.
Oh, I just wanted to make sure that was, yeah. Do I do that or do I take that away as well?
Yeah, finances are the only reason I would tell someone to wait because I know the peptides are an investment for sure.
Oh, one last thing, Dr. Jones. Sorry. One last thing. So we can do the 3 days of weight training while we're doing the reset, and we can exercise too, or you don't want us doing any weight training?
Weight training is totally doable. I want you to do that. Just back off of the cardio stuff during the reset.
Okay, thank you. Okay, great.
And it's not like you have to, but we do the burning of the calories will mean that you're going to have to eat even more during the reset, right? So it is nice. You take a break from the cardio too. When you come back and start the cardio again, you'll burn more calories, and it'll be at a place where it's more advantageous to burn them then after your metabolism is faster. So fantastic. All right, Melanie. Okay, so we started off at 157 down to 142, so lost about 12 pounds. In July, we were 157, 156, 1.8, 155, 153. So it really picked up then. 150, 148, 147.8, 145. So you're right in the middle of it. It doesn't seem like you're plateaued. It seems like the weight's pretty consistent. How's everything going on your end?
It's good. I hit my goal, so I reduced my goal again. So I've been I'm working out cardio wise. Like I love to walk outside for the last month or so. That's what I've been doing. So I haven't been lifting weights like I need to. So that's like my focus now. But I don't want to lose too much more. I'm 5'7", and so I think I'm going to start focusing more on like my muscle mass, like watching that more. Am I going to get dinged if I don't continue to lose a pound a week? Because I don't know if I want to lose a pound a week anymore.
No, and I was going to say, you just as much building muscle mass is important for your health as dropping the body fat, and muscle mass becomes more important as your fat levels get closer to what they should be. So get that waist measurement of yourself, and if
I did, yeah.
Okay, good. You do have it.
I've been on it since the GLP-1s. I started my journey in March, and I'm down, was it 5 inches off my waist?
That's great.
I think 4 inches, somewhere in there.
So continue to use that. And your goal is going to be, so here's going to be your goal. If you're watching these clips from my coaching calls and wishing you can be part of the team, I'll put a link in the description, but we have thousands of individuals who are kicking ass using microdose intermittent use protocols and implementing sustainable lifestyle strategies, guys. Click that link, fill out your information. Now back to the show. Your goal is going to be, so by the way, on the fasting, has that been going good, 48 per week?
Yeah, I've been listening to my body. I don't know if you remember, but I did reach out after 1 week. Saturday, after I ate, after a 40-hour fast, I was extremely lightheaded. And that's what you got on to me for not eating enough calories the other day. So I have been upping my calories a little bit more. I'm just listening to my body. So
Good.
Last week I only got to 36, I think.
Okay.
And I just didn't feel good. So I went ahead and ate. But I do 16-8 or 18-6 every single day.
Good.
I stopped eating. Yeah, I stopped eating on Thursday. I don't eat it all I stopped eating Thursday at noon. I don't eat it all on Friday. And then I let my body tell me on Saturday when it's time to eat.
That's great. That's great. So in your case, let's decrease the fasting down to 34, which is basically be like dinner to breakfast, and then go ahead and
Okay.
start eating that day. And your goal is going to be, while continuing to do that slightly shorter fast, which is still really long, by the way, 34,
Yeah.
and compared to the rest of the world, they're like 34 is still good. So keep up with that, kind of wake up in the morning, 34. How much do I need to eat the other 6 days? Because technically that's 6 days, right? Because it's
Mhm.
one full day plus the sleep time of the next day. So how much do I have to eat the next 6 days to keep my weight from not moving while my waist continues to shrink? And if you want to get more accurate, you can do a couple other areas too. You can do your arm, like in the middle. You could do a thigh right in the middle. The only reason I'm only going to ask people to do waist is just truthfully because some people balk at the more work. But I might even add an option saying minimum waist, but if you want to be more accurate, do these 3 or 4 spots. The more areas you can catch, the better for accuracy, but the more work is. So just keep that in mind. Are you doing just a waist measurement, or are you doing more areas?
I think the waist one I've done, but I have it from the beginning of my journey. I have my arm, my leg, my waist, my thigh, or my calf. Yeah, all of them.
Good.
I have a
Good.
little, yeah. So, but
Do
I'm
you-
just noticing that I have got no clothes that fit me. I totally skipped a whole entire size. I am the size I was when I got married 32 years ago. So
Fantastic. Fantastic. Let's keep it rolling now. Now let's get some muscle going. That's just going to iron it out. That's going to make it nice, and not just aesthetically, but improve your health longevity wise, and make it easier to maintain a lower level of fat. So yeah, that's your goal, is eat enough while keeping the fasting going and keeping the weight training going. How much do I need to eat in order to not lose weight? That's your goal. And in theory, you won't even have to check your measurements, but I would still check the measurements to make sure that's going down, right? That going down while scale staying the same is exactly what I want, because that means you're going to continue to drop fat and put on muscle mass. At some point, depending on you and your goal and what you want, you could shift that more towards, I'm muscle building now, meaning I'm okay if the scale goes up a little bit at the benefit of actually really improving and increasing the rate of muscle growth. Because when you go from pure fat loss to maintenance, you're getting a little bit of both. But truthfully, if the priority is muscle building, then you shift it to actually gain 2 pounds a month at the most. Nothing crazy. Really slow weight gain in that stage will really pack on some more lean body mass. And depending on where you're at, that might be a good idea. But start with the maintenance first for a while, and then let us know how you feel after a couple, weeks, couple months. We can decide together.
my weight fluctuates every single day. I weigh every single morning. So it up 2 pounds, down 3 pounds, up a pound, down a pound, nothing. It's all over the place.
Are you doing a graph then if you do it every day?
No, just do it on Wednesdays when I send it. I do the full, I have a body composition scale.
Okay.
So every Wednesday I do the body fat, the muscle mass.
Oh, I thought you were weighing yourself every day, you said.
I do, but just jump on the scale to see. It's just what I do. The mental thing.
Yeah, no, I get it. But tracking wise, you're just tracking the weekly.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Fantastic. Okay, cool. Any particular questions for you as far as this next stage?
No, I'm struggling. My cholesterol is high, which is the medical hotline helped me. But this is weird because I eat very clean. I do not eat fast food. I don't eat fried foods. I don't eat processed foods. And my bad cholesterol is going up. So I'm having to reduce my red meat consumption, which is higher in calories, to chicken, which I hate chicken. So I'm going to have to, I think I might struggle getting some of my weight in. So I might have to lean on protein shakes and stuff.
So I'm guessing your doctor is doing a basic lipid panel and not doing a more in-depth lipid panel.
I don't know. I sent it to the group there, your medical, my good cholesterol is high, which is good. But my bad cholesterol is high, and that's what went up. And they wanted to put me on a statin, and I said no.
Yeah, and that's what they're so quick to do that, because there's a lot more nuance to just looking at LDL being high, like the ratio of LDL to HDL. Right. Has that ratio gotten worse or stayed the same?
I don't remember what my good cholesterol was, but your medical group said that my ratio was okay.
Okay, good.
I still need to get my bad cholesterol down, but that's what's concerning to me because I've eaten cleaner this last 6 months I've had my whole entire life. My A1C dropped quite a bit, which is good.
That's why I'm saying I wonder how, like LDL. Sorry, I keep saying LDN because we do talk about LDN all the time. LDL going up on its own is not always bad. And nonetheless, keep up with it. Keep doing blood panels, and because what we're doing right now is improving your health, not the other way.
I feel better than I can't remember the last time I felt this good.
Yeah. So that's why there's some advanced lipid panels where they look at ApoB, and a lot of these practitioners don't cover that testing. I'm not saying you need to go that in depth with a crazier test. Just keep your eye on it, keep making the improvements, and then you can let us know if it doesn't get better.
I think I have to go back in 3 months. They want to do it again. I got the supplements they recommended, so I'll start taking those.
Good. Fantastic. Everybody is kicking butt. I love it. I love it. Does anybody have, actually, before we get into that, obviously a lot of you, I know you're at your goal, and now we're shifting towards more muscle building. Scarlet and Don, it sounds like you're still chipping away with your fat loss goal. You have access to us as far as your peptides, your medications. Hormones are always something to consider. If that's something you thought about, that mid-program is always a time where I think you could consider hormones if you have the symptoms of it, because you've now improved your condition, you've reduced your inflammation, you're more insulin sensitive. So hormones function better. And so that's always an option. If you are dealing with those symptoms, let us know that we can order a test for you. As far as peptides, just let us know how you're doing if you want to get more peptides. And then as far as coaching, so this whole time I've been letting you guys know my current target is, I think we're going to be on the new platform here in a week and a half. I don't want to say that, and then but it's so close. I'm just like, the new platform is going to be on school and everything. So super excited for that. And we'll, like I said, we'll message everybody. So that's definitely coming around the corner, and we'll let everybody know where they're at as far as their coaching tiers. But yeah, does anybody have any questions for me in particular?
So what do we do if I've had in these 2 months or whatever, I never called you guys? Does that just get rolled over then? You know what I mean? Because with the coaching, how does that work?
Yeah, for which aspect?
If I need to meet up with Cassie or you to talk about something, you know how we were, like if we had an issue, we were supposed to contact the FLOA hotline. When some people set up like Zooms and stuff like that, but I just never did that because I was still working on all my stuff that I'm doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So the difference between student and warrior is student is weekly coaching call access, and then that's it. And then warrior is, now I've upgraded it from every 2 months to every month. Calls like this, very intimate conversation style. And you get access at every month, plus you get the guarantee of results too as well. So what that means is throughout the journey, in between the monthly calls, if you run into a snag with Ceci, then she makes the call to put you on a call with me. Yeah, that's how that works, right? So if a student
call, I don't think I'm on that. What's a month? When do we do the monthly call?
So we just made that switch of switch.
Okay.
Yeah, no, so you literally, we haven't even, I don't even think we, yeah.
Okay.
It's been crazy with this growth we've been getting, and I'm trying to just differentiate the tiers and make it all make sense, and it's happening so fast. Ceci will be the one that scheduled you guys for that. We're going to keep the Mondays at 4 as the monthly slots, and we're probably going to end up having to increase slots as just like we did for the intro calls. But yeah, she'll be responsible for getting you guys scheduled. So I think we're going to have automations that'll text you guys, hey, it's about a month now, let's get you booked. But please, by all means, if you want to make sure that you are scheduled for a month, you can be proactive and reach out to us. But I would love to have the automations on us so we can just make it easier for you guys. Cool. Any other questions?
I do. So you still want me to do the 16 and 8, right? And then, but just increase my food and not fast or just quit it all together. And I wasn't really sure on the reset as far as the fasting.
Yeah.
I get the long fasting don't do, but
no long fasting. And if you can hit your calorie goals in a decreased window still, then continue to do that, but not at the cost of not getting enough calories.
Okay.
That's your priority. If you can get in an 8-hour window, great, but I would rather you increase your window if that's what it took.
Okay.
And then as soon as the reset's over, we get right back into the long fasting again with better appreciation for how to balance it out.
Yeah. Yes.
No, but this is
So
good though. I mean, go ahead.
Oh, but Don and I might not end up doing like a whole 3-week reset. It is possible that we could do a 2-week reset, right?
Yeah, totally. It did in the beginning. They're a lot longer, right? The resets mid-program are much faster. It just depends. It's, believe it or not, it's a good thing if it takes 3 weeks. I know that sounds, I don't want to wait 3 weeks. If it's taking 3 weeks, that means we're making you eat more and more. And a metabolism that's actually able to burn that much without gaining weight, that's a really good thing. So you want to realize that maybe it's annoying because you're thinking, oh, like I'm wasting time. No, you're not. You're speeding up your metabolism. And you're probably building muscle mass too as well at the same time. So it's a good thing. Obviously, of course, I know you want it to be as fast as possible because yes, you lose the most fat when you're mid-program, but this is all laying the foundation so you don't run back into a plateau. You guys are both in one, I think, which is why we're doing this. So we're getting you out of the plateau anyways. Because if we did the other approach, which most people do, which is just reduce your calories more, reduce your calories more. It's like, all right, you know where that leads you down. Meanwhile, you feel worse and worse and your metabolism gets slower and slower. That doesn't go for long. And that's not good for your health either, because your body needs those calories for stuff. It does a lot of stuff. Your body does a lot of stuff. Your brain appreciates a nice steady state of glucose to be able to function and think and socialize and exist and have patience for your family when you need to. So that kind of stuff. But cool. Any other questions?
2 quick questions. I've been eating keto / low carb for years. That's just how I enjoy eating. I'm trying to introduce more whole food carbs. Is it bad to stay low carb?
So I'm glad you brought that up. So we have text reminders that go out, but the reason why I talk about getting you guys off keto is because for 99.99% of the world, ketogenic diet is unsustainable. So what ends up happening to people, especially when they really try to make it a thing, like anything, you feel guilty when you fail on a goal, right? I'm going to go keto. And then 6 months later, 5 pieces of cake into the night. You're like, what happened? So, whoa. And it's crazy. So I try to be proactive and don't even go that far with it. Do the 2 to 4 months and let's reintroduce carbs back. Melanie, you're in a perfect time where I will actually, because you told me you want to build muscle too, which I think everybody should, but yeah, I want you to eat carbs for both reasons. And so in your case, the lifting days, those are the days you can start introducing some more carbs, enjoy whatever fruit you want, throw in some rice, like not crazy, but we're going from low to just medium. If one of those days is high, then that's not the end of the world of carbs. And then you can always shift back to keto on the non-lifting days. That's that cyclic nature of carbs that I think, you could do moderate carbs every day and be fine if you're insulin sensitive. But me personally, that's how I live my lifestyle. And that's one of my recommended lifestyle formats is cycling, having keto days and then having carb days when you lift. And think of lifting as your way to earn the right to have carbs, because when you lift, the carbohydrates are much less damaging to you.
I just haven't eaten them for so long that, I eat them when, like you said, like, oh, I have a piece of cake, but it's just not how I enjoy eating anymore. So I didn't know. I'm trying to introduce potatoes and fruit and more vegetables and that kind of stuff back into my diet.
Yeah, I would say if you really just felt so amazing and every time you go back to carbs, you don't feel good and you're like, I could live this lifestyle for life, then I would say, fine, let's do that, because your body's literally telling us. But that's pretty rare. That's pretty rare. It's the same thing with the carnivore diet. It could be amazing for the healing phase, but no one's going to very few people are going to maintain a carnivore diet. It's setting yourself up for failure, I think, a little bit. But for you right now, the carbs will help build the muscle mass that we want to build anyways. And it's a good litmus test too. Can I handle carbs? And that's a test. That's a test of insulin sensitivity right there. Can I handle carbs? Because in the past, when you're insulin resistant, that's the first thing that makes you gain weight.
My second question is AOD. I forgot to take it. I forget to take medication every day. So I have about a whole container and a half left. Is that 6 weeks left? I'd still get benefits taking it for that long, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, AOD is just one of those things where it's not like you could take it whenever. You could do it up to twice a day if you wanted to. It's most beneficial on your fasting days. Keep that in mind too as well. That's where it really gives you the most benefit.
If I 16/8 every morning when I get up and I take it, I would be fasting. Because I stop eating at 6 the night before.
And then long fasting days is where I would the morning and the evening can be very powerful too.
I'll take them in the morning and the night. Oh, okay.
It's an option. It's an option of people. Yeah, because you wake up in the morning, you haven't eaten, you're in a fasted state, you take the AOD, it's mobilizing fat, and then you move down to the evening, you're mobilizing fat much more intensely. So AOD in the evening before you go to bed is helping your body feed itself.
Okay. Start that.
Cool. Any other questions, guys?
A question. So should Don and I should stay on our keto? We shouldn't add any carbs in for the reset?
2 to 4 months is a time frame where I like to test the water. Also looking at how much weight you have. Are you closer to your goal? Scarlet, I would say stay on keto. Don, you could test the water out a little bit. Even though you're not at your goal yet, you're closer. And depending on like how you feel about it, do you feel mentally stressed with keto, or does it feel like you're good? You don't feel like you're depriving yourself? Like how does it feel being on keto for you, Don?
It's hard. It's a struggle. Like I won't lie. Like I'm a chipaholic, and so I want that. So
Okay.
that's where my fear comes in, because I was like, ooh, if
Well,
I'm gonna be able to.
like I said, this is a good test. So if you want to test the water and add some carbs on lifting days and then go back to strict keto, we'll see what happens with your body. Let us know if you actually do that so we can document starting a keto test and or decrease in keto. And then that's good for us to tell how your body reacts. Because like I said, you might feel better. You might start putting on more muscle. Now the inches lost are going to matter too, because if the weight slows down on the scale, but you notice the inches continue to come off, like that's a good thing. So you can test the water out. And then Scarlet, I'd probably go another 2 months of keto before we start that part.
I'm going on vacation next week.
If you want to enjoy your vacation, then enjoy your vacation, right? You know what I mean? You've earned it. You've made some good progress. So that could be a test there although that's a bad test because it's probably going to be over the normal. So you might want to do the vacation, come back, stabilize, and then test it out.
Yeah, it'll be fine. I'll just be conscious of what I eat, like I have been, but I just more of it.
Yeah, no, I think it's the vacation's good. Implement some control, but at the same time, though, if it's a vacation that's much needed, then there's a little bit of, I think, benefit from enjoying that, right? The fasting around, the weight training, getting in what you can, and then enjoying the meals, whatever they happen to present. So.
If you guys enjoyed watching this video, then you guys are going to want to check this one out. I take a deep dive into fasting and overall lasting weight loss strategies utilizing these GLP-1 medications in the best format, microdosing, intermittent usage. Check that out, guys. We'll see you later.